What is up, y'all? We're back once again on this lovely day of a Thursday. Welcome back to another episode of X2 Skips, the weekly patch notes. As always, I'm Tamziri, and with us we got Kid Kojo. What's good, homie?
Dylan, how are you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Hey, Uncle Kojo at this point, dog. Yo.
Bro.
And also with us we have Maxwell. What's good, Holmes?
Been better, but you know what? This is a slightly better morning.
Okay. Oh wait. Rise and shine. And we're back again with another episode with all the gaming tidbits of everything that's happened in the past week. You feel me? And before we get started and dive right into it, does anyone have anything to bring up before we get started? Max?
Yeah, I've stopped playing Shattered Pixel Dungeon. I eventually rage quit with it, where I finished. So you've got 6 players, and I finished with all the players except the final player, the cleric, and I rage quit with the huntress. After finishing it with her, I finished the last boss, and I did the extra challenge. I failed the extra challenge, and I was just like, you know what? F this game. I'm done. Because my original goal was to finish with every character, but after 5 out of 6 characters, I get F this. Deleted the game, and now I've been looking for a new game.
Oh wait. Try Epic 7. Yeah.
Epic 7.
Yeah. I always sing wonders about that game, bro. It's a gacha game. Gotta catch them all. Fuck shit up.
Yeah, I've come across another gacha style game, but it's not as bad so far. But I can see it getting terrible once I'm at a higher level.
Oh wow, okay.
But for now, it kills the time. It does what it needs to do. So
Fair
when
enough.
it starts forcing me to pay money, I'm probably going to delete it.
Yep, same.
It was nice playing a game which, didn't try to nudge you in the direction of money for a while. But in this economy, I guess it's hard to find those type of games. Because I even tried to go on Google and, say games similar to Shattered Pixel Dungeon, or games without ads, games without in-app purchases, and go on Reddit to see the suggestions people put up. The suggestions were ass, firstly, and secondly, a lot of the games people suggested on that thing didn't even follow what the original poster was asking for. Some of these games would have ads, some of these games would still want you to purchase stuff, where it's just like but at the same time, I don't want to just be playing roguelikes. I would like to also be playing something different. So Shattered Pixel Dungeon scratched my roguelike itch, and after it, I would like something different. I don't want to consistently just do roguelikes.
Nah, I get you.
Yeah, so for me, that's about it, really. And then we can talk about soccer.
Okay.
Hopefully, Tottenham Hotspurs gets relegated this season. Fingers crossed. We'll see what happens. I see a lot of people like, no, I don't want a big team to get relegated. Shut the fuck up. Sorry, excuse my French. Bigger teams have been relegated before. This is not going to be anything new. No, there's no such thing as too big to get relegated. And whenever a hole comes in, somebody else will come in and fill it up. So yeah, let Tottenham get relegated. Couldn't happen to a better fan base and a better club.
Sports.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. Thanks, man. Kojizi, you got anything?
Nope.
Neither do I. Well, other than the fact that I finally have news, which we'll be diving right into, starting with the gaming news. Max, start it off, buddy.
All right. Heary. So we begin the news by talking about Subnautica 2.
Oh.
There's a little more publisher drama, and at this rate, maybe Kojo's right. Maybe this game just won't get released this year. But this shouldn't be too big of drama. So apparently, the publisher, Krafton, has been listed off as the publisher. They're no longer listed as the publisher after the developers, Unknown Worlds, ousted CEOs were demanded by a judge to be returned. So on Steam, it's shown that Krafton's name has been removed. And it appears that the developer, Unknown Worlds, will be publishing it themselves. Krafton was pushing for the game to get released in May of this year. Whereas Unknown World was saying, nah, that's not going to happen. It's going to be maybe in 2026. So right now, the game is still listed for 2026. May is a definite no, but sometime in 2026 is still plausible. So yeah, who knows what the hell is going on there, if this is just some rudimentary stuff or if this is more drama that complicates the situation. But yeah, I suppose that's something for people to be on the lookout for if this is a game that they are anticipating. Then, next, we've got some Bloodbourne news. I'm sure Kojo already knows about this news.
Does it involve the... should I spoil? I don't know. If Kojo knows, is it about the movie?
Yes, it is. Oh, I'm surprised you know. Usually these things go over your head. But yes, Sony and another studio and the YouTuber Jacksepticeye have come into agreement to work together to create a Bloodbourne animated movie that will be rated 18, which supposedly is going to keep to the spirit of a game and all of that stuff, which I don't even know what the fuck that means.
The game is very violent.
Okay. So I read, but I'm just like, when I played, I'm like, it really wasn't all that violent or any different to any other game. I would say the only thing I recall to it is that blood was a major theme to the game, hence the title Bloodbourne. So I don't know what was so violent about it. I feel like Devil May Cry is far more violent than Bloodbourne. Or what's another game? Resident Evil. Hell, Capcom games are much more violent than what Bloodbourne was. So I don't understand the whole keep to the spirit of the game thing when there's really whatever. But yeah, so Jacksepticeye will be a producer. I don't really know much about him to know if that's a good thing or an interesting thing or whatever, but we'll see what comes out of it. I suppose people are excited because it involves a beloved YouTuber, so maybe that can involve some quality control in the situation. But at the same time, I also feel iffy about this. So it's like we're in that period now where a lot of gaming movies are coming out where I'm just like, not everything has to be a movie, Some stuff could be a series, an animated series. I could see Bloodbourne being an animated series, not a movie. But I suppose everything is just going for movies because they're going for that quick buck.
Yep.
Yeah, so that's something to look out for. And this has just been announced, so this will probably take maybe 7 years to come into fruition. So I give it maybe a 2033 release window. But then again,
I'm
it's
probably going to
animated,
forget about it.
Yeah. Well, let's see what happens. But yep.
Yeah.
Then on to the next one. What's his name? Pete Hines, former man of Bethesda, was having an interview. The man has retired, and then he was talking about how the conditions in which he left Bethesda, where he said he left Bethesda because he felt the company had changed and he felt powerless to try and redirect that change. He says that the quality of what they were producing and things like that was going in a direction he didn't like, and it wasn't to their old standards. So he felt like he needed to leave because he didn't want to be a part of something that didn't reflect what they used to stand for. And he went on to say that he would have left sooner if it wasn't for, God Todd, where he decided to stick on for Starfield. As soon as Starfield would be done, he would move on, but then Starfield kept getting delayed, so he stayed on for longer. And then finally, when it was released, he could call time. But he only had good things to say about Todd Howard. And when he was given his criticism of all of this stuff, Bethesda's current situation, how quality has dipped and all of that different stuff, he never at any stage mentioned, Microsoft or the acquisition or anything like that. So it's people, what's the word when you are connecting dots by yourself?
Jumping to conclusions.
Not jumping to conclusions, but kind of like it is not
seeing ghosts when none exist. Bars.
Yeah, something along those lines.
Oh shit.
Chances are he probably is referring to Microsoft, but you know how these things are where you're giving political answers, so you don't want to get tangled up in stuff, so you avoid saying things directly. I feel it's one of those situations. But the man's retired, so he can probably do whatever he wants or say whatever he wants. He's not really out there looking for work or worried about his relationship with people inside the industry. Unlike, what's his name, Kojo, the Halo music dude?
Halo music dude.
Yes, the guy you spoke about last week, Kojo.
Music or art?
Was it both? Maybe.
No, I said art. One of the art directors, the one who left and came back and said a whole bunch of things about how he was so coercion. Yes, that's the art. He was one of the art guys, not music.
What, he only did art? I thought he did creative input, so I thought it was music and art.
My knowledge, I just read art.
No.
I could be wrong though.
No, I think I'm probably wrong. Yes, but like that guy. But anyway, yes. Then, lastly, did y'all hear? Okay, no, yeah, you definitely did hear, because Kojo mentioned it. We had the upcoming story that Fortnite and Disney are going to be working together. It is rumored they're going to be working together to bring an Ark Raider style game using Disney characters. I don't know how this is going to appear.
Why are you laughing?
I do laugh because it just sounds so dumb.
No, it doesn't.
Really sounds stupid.
Nah, Tell me back, me, but don't you want to see fucking Mario run around with a blicky?
I mean,
Mario,
yes.
Coach.
Wait, but
Not Mario,
that's-
sorry.
I get you.
Not
you.
Mario. Fucking hell.
Mickey Mouse running
Mickey
around
Mouse.
with a blicky. Yeah.
I got my wires crossed.
Do you-
Sorry.
I'm gonna be playing Goofy, bro.
That's the thing where I can't imagine Goofy, Minnie, Mickey, like you've got the whole crew running. Like they're not going to have a blicky at worst. Otherwise, Kingdom Hearts, you would have at least had a character with some type of blicky, but all of them use a blunt weapon. So it's just like the concept doesn't really work all that well. But again, maybe they're like the core characters they're going to protect, and maybe it'll be, the ladder characters like the Disney princesses or things like that, where I could see them having the blicky, like going up tearing shit up with Moana.
Tommy.
That'd be unfair. She's got powers, dog.
Tommy.
Yo, what up?
It sounds so dumb.
Was Maxwell breaking up for you, or was it just me?
Nah, he was good.
Okay, I guess it's me. Whoopsie. Continue.
Yeah, so supposedly that's a thing. Let's see. Disney invested $1.5 billion into Epic Games, and this game is rumored to launch around November of this year. Personally, I'm highly flipping doubtful about November this year, because November is in about what, 6
Game of the
7
year
months,
contender.
and we've only heard reported rumors, alleged rumors of this thing. If it was coming out that soon, it would probably get a announcement of some type, like even maybe a title shot or some shit like that.
We
But-
have time. Keep in mind, Fallout
like maybe
4 was announced in June and released in
that's
November.
a bygone era. That's a bygone era.
But it still happened. You never know. You don't know how long this game has been in development for.
True.
Years.
But essentially, we'll see where this goes. I think it's a dumb idea, but it could work. Stupider things have worked. So yeah, that's it from my news.
Away. Kojo, got any gaming news?
Yeah, but you go first. I'm interested to hear yours.
Well, okay. Anyways, so we mentioned Arc Raiders, right?
Yeah.
So they lost 80% of their player base.
No, they did not.
And it's pissed off another streamer who has pretty much somehow linked his entire career to just one game.
Let me guess. Who is it? Give me a hint. Is it someone I know?
Yes.
Really?
He tried to do a dance of his.
No
His
way.
beef.
No way. Ninja?
Bro, it is the dumbest thing ever. So, for those of you who are wondering, how did Arc Raiders lose 80% of their player base? Well, the reason was because Arc Raiders right now is experiencing a wave of cheaters, obviously. The advancements in AI and AI bots, has pretty much made cheating in games happen everywhere, right? Ninja, for some odd reason, and I don't know why, then says that he's quitting indefinitely over an unplayable Arc Raider cheating issue. Now, I was going to mention this on the content creator side, but I needed to first mention the whole Arc Raiders cheating situation. The whole cheating situation has killed Siege. It's killed... At this point, F1 is next. I'm waiting for how they're going to implement
How
that.
the hell are people cheating in F1? They put NOS in their cars?
Nigga, I don't know. They've like auto steering or something. I don't know. Yeah, but anyways, like other games that we always experience this type of shit happening. I mean, standard. You know what I'm saying? Fall Guys, yeah, that was a sad time when it had cheaters. And obviously once they got better, like everything was sorted, but it's bullshit. Yeah, that's pretty much it. It's all the gaming news that I have. Also, Arc Raiders is dying out slowly. And it's a shame because it was the greatest human social experiment ever. But yeah, that's me. Kojo?
Yeah, I've got I've got like 3 things. I'll save the best one for last.
Oh, damn.
So, the first one, so I'm going to talk about a game that Maxwell was hating on, and don't say you weren't hating on it because you were hating on it. A game called The First Berserker Kazan. Remember that one?
Oh no, I stay forever hating on that shit.
Exactly. Well, it came out and it actually did pretty well. It did good. It got good reviews. However, the studio behind it, Neopol, I'm pretty sure Neopol. Nexon is the publisher, I believe. Neopol is a subsidiary, and they're the ones who made the team. But unfortunately, I guess the numbers didn't do well enough, weren't good enough.
I wonder why.
For Nexon, because but keep in mind, this is a publisher who Nexon is infamous for just wanting money. So we know, Maxwell, you and I have had many instances or discussions where we know games that have done very well, but they weren't good enough for their publisher. So this could be one of those situations. I don't know the numbers, but all the content creators I've seen like this game. I'm sure there are people who don't, obviously. But anyway, continuing. Neopol, they have decided to reorganize its teams. Nexon. Neopol has decided to reorganize its teams because as the first Berserker Kazan enters its final stage, I guess, last post-launch content. However, good news is that there are not going to be any layoffs from this reorganization, which is like mind-blowing to me. So a Nexon representative said that Neopol is aiming to allocate resources more effectively across current and upcoming projects. And some of these projects include Dungeon and Fighter franchise games for global markets. They went on to say that the adjustment is a strategic reallocation of talent and not a workforce reduction or team dissolution. Supporting live service operations and further incentives across Neopol and Nexon affiliates. So that's good. I'm happy to hear that. However, let's jump into some not so good news. I mentioned that no team is getting dissolved with Neopol and Nexon. Can't say the same thing about developer behind Wu Chang Fallen Feathers, Lenzi. So, unfortunately, the studio is being dissolved, but I don't think it's because of sales. So, hear me out. So, one of the producers and directors, Xia Yuan, I butchered that name, I'm sorry, pretty much refused to, because I think either the studio, the heads up, the higher ups of of the studios were forcing the director and the other studio members to shift the company to an outsourcing studio where they're going to help with other projects, and the director said no, and other team members also said no, and this led to the dissolution of the team. Pretty much those are what the streets are, not streets, but those are what reports are saying. So people were also, Wu Chang was a game that came and people liked it. Some core people are sad they're not going to see any more updates or content or any more sequels to it or whatever. So that's sad. Hopefully the team can bounce back. Now oh dear Lord, have mercy on my soul. This story is wacky. So I mentioned a few weeks ago, I don't think Maxwell was here. There was an MMO called Ashes of Creation that did really well on Kickstarter. And then the developer, Stephen Sharif, is like the director of the studio, and what's the name of the studio again? Give me 2 seconds. Intrepid Studios. So he was the head of Intrepid Studios, and he was saying things like, he's funding the game out of his own pocket, and I think including the Kickstarter money. I think. So the money, Kickstarter, Intrepid raised 3.2 million on Kickstarter, and then there were other sources or whatever of cash, I guess. But Sheriff said he funded this out of his own pockets along with the Kickstarter. But anyway, so I spoke a few episodes ago about how the game pretty much imploded, and the game is no longer a thing anymore. The studio has shut down, and it was basically a shock to people, because this was supposed to be like the next big MMO, like the MMO that was going to revive the genre. Like, Tommy was even hyped for it at a point.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I like MMOs a lot, so I was looking forward to seeing this one. But yeah, it was just a mess. So if people want to go look at that part of the story, they can. However, there have been claims that Sheriff, former director, I guess, there are claims that he misspent the studio funds, on ridiculous things. So there is the YouTuber called NefasQS, and he claims that he's come across a ledger of budgets and things that the money was spent on. Intrepid and Sheriff spent the money on. He released a video on YouTube called Ashes of Creation's Financial Records Are Insane, and in the comments he linked down the ledger so people can go look at the ledger for themselves. But these are just some, there are a lot of them, but these are just some that caught my interest. I hope, oh man, are you guys ready for this? I'm gonna throw all the numbers at you, but just keep this in mind. Okay, so apparently Shiro spent $21,000 on a private chef. Okay. $220,000 on DoorDash. Okay. $16,000 at the movie theater. Okay. This next one is wild. $102,000 on the Epic Game Store.
Damn.
Then $21,000 on Magic the Gathering cards. $6,600 on Steam games. And Tommy, remember when I said you should keep in mind glizzies?
Oh, yes.
So apparently he spent $2,200 on hot dogs.
Okay.
And these are just some of the numbers. These are just the ones that I find interesting. There are a lot of more numbers that Nefas goes over. I urge people to go watch that video, look at the ledger. But I don't know. I just think it's stupid that he spent $21,000 on a private chef, but he spent $220,000 on DoorDash. What the fuck was the point of the private chef? Anyway,
sometimes DoorDash gives you more variety, dog.
Now private chef.
Private chef is probably specialized in like one cuisine.
You know what? I can see that.
Yeah. No private chef is gonna make better KFC, dog. Tell you now. No better Nando's. No better Bry. Then they give you pop in the shape of a square, bro. It's crazy.
I'd eat that.
Nigga, imagine eating fufu in the shape of a triangle.
Yeah, that's actually ridiculous. Okay. So yeah, so Sheriff has come out and he said where? So he said that, look, these claims are false. Nefas has obtained what's it called? He's been fed false and defamatory information by individuals with an axe to grind, during this whole litigation on court case or whatever. And he was like, Nefas, instead of trying to verify the claims, he just chose to just parrot them and whatever. So it's pretty messy both ways. So yeah, that is that. Yeah, that's it for my news.
Oh wait, thanks, mate. Good times. That brings us to the gaming corner. What releases have come out, fam?
So, let's start off with a Nintendo Switch game called Tomodachi Life, Living the Dream. It's a virtual life sim game. April 16th, 2026. Currently sitting at 78 on Metacritic. Then we have a game called Opus Prison Break, PC, and it's Nintendo Switch 2, Nintendo Switch. Adventure game, April 16th, 2026. Currently sitting at 86 on Metacritic. Next, I don't know if you guys have heard of this game. Maybe, Tommy, you might have. But Maxwell, I'm not sure if we spoke about this one. Do you remember a game called Mouse PI for Hire?
Nigga, what?
Nigga, I'm the one who said I'm excited about that game. It looks interesting.
Oh, okay. All right.
This
That's Loki coming back to me. So basically, Tommy, imagine like 1930s Disney black and white.
Oh, I saw Dashi playing this.
Yeah, it's pretty big. A lot of streamers have been content creators have been playing it because it looks unique. You know. So yeah, PC, PS5, Xbox Series, Nintendo Switch 2. It's an FPS game. April 16th, 2026. What do you think its score is, Maxwell? Metacritic.
I already saw mentions of it did average, so 78.
78. Tam-san.
83.
83. 78. Okay, so if my math is correct, Tommy is the closest. It's kind of sitting at an 81. So it's in the green. So that's good. Next up, we have Gecko Gods, PC, PS5, Nintendo Switch. April 16th, puzzle platformer game, 2026. Currently sitting at a 77 on Metacritic. Then we have a game called Jesus Christ. We have a game called Cthulhu, The Cosmic Abyss.
What?
PC, PS5, Xbox Series, adventure game, April 16, 2026. Currently sitting at a 69 on Metacritic. Nice. And then lastly, we have one of the big ones of the year from Capcom, no less, Pragmata. This is a game that certain men, I'm not going to mention names, thought would never release and thought it was a fake game. Not going to mention names. One of the people is Maximilian. He thought this game was fake.
Never said it was a fake game. I just said I don't think it's going to release.
Right. Anyway. Well, fair. So, Pragmata, it's come out. PC, PS5, Xbox Series, Nintendo Switch 2, April 17th, 2026. Currently action adventure game. Currently third person. Currently sitting at a what on Metacritic? This time I'll ask Tommy first.
Ish. I don't know. I don't trust this game.
But you see what it looks like, right?
Yeah. 79.
79. Okay, good. Maxwell.
83.
83. Okay, Maxwell is the closest. It's currently sitting at an 86. So it's doing pretty well.
Okay.
So, new IP doing pretty well. I'm happy. Every time a new IP does well, happy. I'm just hoping it, as of the recording, it hasn't released yet. But it will be releasing when this, it would have been released when this episode goes up, so we'll see what the numbers are like. But then streamers got early access, 1 day early access, and so I'm just jumping in here and there to see what the game looks like and stuff. And it's a game that exists, so I'm happy. It was announced when 2020, 2021, somewhere there. Ridiculous. Anyway, so yeah, that's it for the releases of the week. Moving on to some gaming corner stuff real briefly. There was a showcase called the Galaxy Showcase Spring 2026, which happened on April the 16th, 2026. I showed a bunch of games if people want to look at more upcoming games that they have heard of or never heard of. New releases, new reveals, updates on games they've heard of. You can go check out the Galaxy's Gaming Showcase. Then we have Street Fighter, the movie.
Yeah.
A new trailer was released April 16th, 2026. New trailer. This one is an actual story trailer, not the 50-second trailer we got, that teaser. This one is like a 2.5-minute trailer. I like how colorful it is. It's a very colorful movie. Obviously the characters, the Street Fighter characters, the characters in the games are like larger than life, exaggerated personas. It looks like the movie sticking to that. And Yeah, the visuals look great. I mean, look, it looks good. But it's a video game movie. I mean, there have been dope video game movies. Don't get me wrong, or video game adaptations. But one of the adapting a fighting game to the big screen is kind of hard, in my opinion. You know, there have been previous Tekken games, Street Fighter games. I mean, sorry, Tekken movies, Street Fighter movies, Mortal Kombat movies. Some hit, some did not. So we'll see with Street Fighter. So go check out the trailer if you haven't. And then lastly, Tommy, you know the Metro series.
Yes.
Max, I'm not sure if you know the Metro series. We spoke about it today before the recording. So
who doesn't know Metro?
You'll be surprised. Okay, so I don't have to go into depth. But anyway, so Metro is a video games. Well, it's a series of books by an author called Dmitry Glukhovsky, and they adapted it starting in 2010 to a series of books. So there was Metro 2033, which is the first one. Metro Last Light. Metro something light. I think let's go with Last Light.
You don't have to cover every single fucking Metro, dude.
Yeah, I'm going, nigga. I'm okay.
Redux.
God. So anyway, then real briefly, the last one was Metro Exodus. Now, so Metro 2039 has been released. It was released with a 6.5-minute CG trailer, and then it was a 15-minute showcase. So it showed a 6.5-minute CG trailer. People were going hype over that. It looked cool, but again, it's a CG trailer. It set the tone. It set the premise pretty well, I guess. Very, Metro, but deeper. The developers said they're going deeper into the tone is going to be darker. Yeah, that's what I want to say. At the end of the showcase, they showed like a brief 30-second or 40-second clip where it was like gameplay without the HUD, mixed with like in-game cutscenes towards the end of that brief clip. So yeah, new Metro, get hyped. A lot of people are excited for this one. I think we're going to see more later this year. I think it's coming out. They said it's coming out winter this year. So no doubt we're going to see more. So yeah, that is it for Metro and my gaming corner, I believe. What about you? No, fuck. Sorry, I have one more thing. My bad. I have one more thing. I almost forgot about this one. It's not that important, but anyway. So the James Bond game is coming up. 007 First Light. And one huge component of every Bond movie or every Bond project is the song/title sequence. So it's considered a huge privilege to get to perform the song for the movie. You've had the likes of Sam Smith, Adele, I think, and Billie Eilish. So for the video game, they tapped Lana Del Rey. So she made a song called First Light for the game. It's available on YouTube. You can go watch it, listen to it. It's pretty cool. It was written by renowned composer David Arnold, who had worked on 5 Bond films prior to this. So it's hype. It's hype. It'll be interesting to see the title sequence that goes along with the song, if there's going to be a title sequence, which there should be. Duh, it's a Bond, But yeah, Bond 007 First Light comes out in May. Bayern, I am thirsty. Comes out in May. So get hyped. And yeah, that's it for my gaming corner and stuff.
Oh wait, thanks, man. Max, you got anything?
Nada.
Oh wait, yeah, I got nothing either. So that brings us to the halfway point. And if y'all enjoying this so far, please shoot us a like and subscribe. And let's get right back into it. I don't have any content creator news, which is interesting, but I do have esports news. Koji, you got any content creator stuff?
I mean, just the big one that Maxwell pointed us on. Max, I'm not sure if you're going to speak about it, were you?
Yeah, but you can go ahead.
Nah! Maxwell, you take it away.
Nope.
Oh, come on. Fine, let's do it together. Let's do it
You
together.
shouldn't.
Tag team.
What
Let's
the
do it.
fuck do you think this is?
Hey, yo, pause.
Nigga, just go ahead.
You're no fun. You know that? God. This guy.
I've
Anyway.
never been accused of being fun.
Anyway, so yes, Maxwell's best friend, big supporter of this guy, Johnny Somali. Everybody knows him, Nissan streamer. Went to Japan, did a bunch of things. Got let go with a slap on the wrist. Went to Israel, same thing. Went to South Korea, same thing. Oh wait, no, lol. South Korea decided to throw the book at him. So I'm not going to go through everything he did because I'll be here till sunrise. But we're recording this at night, by the way. Anyway, so he has been sentenced to how many months was it, Maxwell? 6 months. Sentenced to 6 months with labor. I don't know if it's hard labor, but it's just said labor.
No.
Oh man,
It's general labor.
So what's he gonna do? Mowing the lawn?
General labor.
Stuff like license plates, letters, things like that.
Fun. But
Sounds like you're giving him a
that's
job.
nothing. Pretty
didn't
much
know.
like blue collar work.
That's cool. I did hear that he's not going to be in a foreigner jail. So tell me, you were saying?
No, I'm saying fuck that. He's getting paid then for that.
No, he's not.
Is it unpaid labor?
No, it's unpaid.
Why would he be getting
Good.
paid, Tommy?
Nigga, I don't know.
Unless he gets like commissary. Is that a thing in South Korea?
I don't think so.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, labor. He's doing that. And then what's the last? There were 3 things.
3 things in terms of what?
There were 3 things. There was.
He's on the sex offender registry for 5 years.
That's the one. For what? 5 years? Yeah. That's the
Heavy.
one. Thanks.
Okay.
So he can't be around women and children.
And disabled
That's-
people.
And
Can't be
disabled
around
people. God.
any vulnerable person.
Damn. So he can't be around himself. Lol. Anyway. So yeah, so looks like that's the end for now of the tale of Johnny Somali. Bets, do you think that's gonna come up?
No.
Not a bloody chance.
Really?
Unless he gets booty holed in jail.
No, he's not gonna. Like if okay, what has Vitali done since he came out?
Nigga, I don't know.
Nothing.
Trading?
Exactly. But then again, Vitali went to Philippines jail. So that's a whole different ball game over there.
Yeah, exactly. That shit will humble you.
Yeah. But yeah, that's.
But also, Somali is smart with the places he goes to. He goes to U.S. allied nations, and then he also
he's a
goes
genius.
to countries with a soft reputation for, punishing foreigners, specifically U.S. foreigners. There's a reason he didn't go to Southeast Asia. There's a reason he didn't go to South America. There's a reason he didn't go to Africa. We don't play that shit. And there's a reason why he didn't go to Europe, because they don't really give that much of a damn about saving face in front of the US.
Truth.
The places he can get away with his behavior would be East Asia and the Middle East, where they care about their image in front of the US. Other places are gonna I'd say with Africa, probably the nations could get bullied into letting him go free if the US ever got involved. South America, Southeast Asia, they wouldn't get bullied. Europe might get bullied. But yeah, we'll see where 6 months is a slap on the wrist. We'll see which country he decides to go to next to be a nuisance. However, one key thing that needs to be noted is that this dude got banned on all platforms, which I didn't know about. I thought he got banned on some platforms, but no, he got banned on all platforms, Kick and whatnot.
Yeah.
So kudos to those platforms for drawing a line, because apparently at some stage he ambushed. What's the dude who went to?
Yeah,
Thailand
I saw that
and
video. I saw that video.
What was his name?
Ice Poseidon.
Yeah, he ambushed him, begged him to try and talk to Kick to let him on, and Ice Poseidon was like, nah. And then he was trying to say, what's the difference between us? And then Ice Poseidon's like, I'm not harassing people. And he led up onto that fact. So I'm hoping the platforms maintain and keep him banned for a long period, because that means that's his source of making an income is not available. Although I don't understand then, when he was putting up all those videos cussing out the judge's family, Korea, and all of those things, where was he posting those videos? And I'm assuming then he was posting it on somebody else's profile or something like that, because that is also a possibility. Mm-hmm.
No, I was just going to say, I think it was a live stream platform called Party, I think, which I had never heard of before Johnny Somali.
Bruh. Cause I assume that because he's not making money and he's not from Korea, because I heard the dude he was living off of was begging people online to send in donations for him to be able to support Johnny Somali. So it had me thinking that if a guy was to go back to the US, maybe he could do something similar where he's just living off somebody else, or maybe he could even create a new profile with somebody else and be like, let's split the revenues or whatever. So there are options for him. Although with that stated, I don't know why EDP never thought of doing something along those lines of get somebody he's close with, have that person create a channel. He's the producer of that channel. He's in the background so nobody can see his face, but then at least he's making some type of money, some type of income, some type of livable wage. Because I know the guy tried. Hey, maybe you're a friend of his from before all of that shit came up. I would imagine that if you were a friend of his, or maybe he approaches you as a business venture. I look at it this way, right? Let's say you're a stranger. Let's say you don't know him or you're not friends with him and he approaches you. If he's saying, hey, let's make a channel together where we're going to be on the thing, I'll be like, nah, dude, your rep is tainted. But if he's like, you're going to be the face, I have experience. I was successful before. I know what it takes to be successful. And I have contacts. They might not want to speak to me, but as long as I'm behind the camera, as long as I'm directing you and producing the stuff, nobody needs to know who I am. Nobody needs to know we're associated. At least we can both mutually benefit. Then in that case, who wouldn't take that up? You have more to win than you have to lose.
I will not associate with a man like that.
Yeah, you might not, but other people have done less for more.
True.
Or more for less.
But hey,
the expression is.
Let me not say such things. If the money was put in front of me, I might be singing a different tune. So let me not say anything definitive.
But essentially, his Somali's thing is disappointing. I think it should have been at least a year and a half. Long enough for him to be on nobody's mind. Long enough for him to, get a feel of what prison like. Because apparently in Japan, he was in custody for about 3 months.
3 months.
And if he learned nothing out of 3 months, what the fuck is 6 months going to do?
Maybe 3 months was his threshold.
I highly doubt that. Degeneracy has no limits.
But then again, he wasn't doing labor in custody.
What the fuck is labor going to do? It's not even hard labor.
And I don't think it was the general population.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay. The general population part might make a difference. But then at the same time, we don't know what the conditions in the prisons are do they hear news from the outside and things like that, or are they isolated? Because if they have TV and they see what's going on, then maybe they can be like, okay, this guy thinks he can just come in and enjoy himself. Nah. Although listening to lawyers who are involved in the whole case and stuff like that, supposedly jail cells are cramped where you've got like 5 to 10 people in one cell, and then there are beds, and then like whoever's got the lowest picking has the bed next to the toilet. So supposedly he's probably going to get that, but who's to know how things will be run in these jail cells? Once again, if the people know what goes on outside, I think he's probably going to get bullied around. If they don't, he might get away with it if he humbles himself and keeps to himself in his time in jail. We don't know what he's like off the camera. For all we know, he does all of these things just for attention, and then when there's no cameras, he's an entirely different person. So who knows what his jail experience is going to be like, but frankly, I can say it's not enough for him not to do things again. What we can say is he's probably not going to have the money to travel abroad again once he finally goes back home to the US. So it's going to be a question of what does he do when he's back home. And I hope that with a platform he's been banned on, these are long-term bans. It's not like how soft Twitch is.
Yeah, we will see. It's an interesting situation. But yeah, that was my only content creator stuff.
Oh wait, thank you. Max, you got any content creator news?
Negative.
All right. And that brings us to the esports. So my one thing, pretty dumb if you ask me, but so an esport host is facing severe backlash because she covered herself in black paint after criticism over a revealing outfit, right? So esports host in China has gone viral, and her name is...
Oh wait, no, never mind. I was thinking of something else I think, was it Brazil or South America? Somewhere in South America where
yeah, but that was no content creator, Maxwell. That wasn't an esports host.
I thought he was talking about that until he said China, and that's why I was like, oh, never mind.
That's what gave it away. Not the fact that he said esports host.
Let her finish. Man, I don't give a fuck about esports.
No, I'm not saying that. I don't give a fuck that you don't give a fuck. Here's what I'm saying. I'm saying that Tommy said esports host. The person you were thinking of, that person was not esports. So I don't know how you confused the two. That's what I'm
talking about blackface.
Yeah, but that logic I can bring in Justin Trudeau.
Yes, but then if it was a Canadian, then you can be like, oh, Justin, or a politician, Justin. So me, I wasn't focused on the e-hosting. I was focused on the blackface. Then he said China, and I was like, oh, never mind.
Mm-hmm. Like I said, I can also put in Justin because that's the same thing. Tell me, continue.
Anyways, so she first faced backlash because some viewers had issues with her wearing a short skirt during broadcast centered around Naraka Blade Point. Right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, that one. And then critics were saying like she dresses in short skirts and all this to attract attention from male viewers, while others speculated that she had to dress up to increase viewership and all this, right? So she then responds by appearing just fully covered in blackface and black clothes, and yeah. As for why she did it, who's to know? Because as she then states, no one's ever forced me to wear inappropriate clothing on official broadcasts to appear in public. The reason why I chose a short skirt was to present a better on-camera look for viewers. Some people are just, yeah. So, hey. And that's it. Yeah. Gojo, you got any esports?
What's going on in the world of esports? Nothing.
Yep. Max, got any esports?
Lol, no.
Nice. Well,
I think at this point you should just stop asking Max. Like, just skip it.
Hey, me, I'm trying to, never know. One day
Nah,
might
I think you're
surprise us.
safe. I think you're safe.
Yeah, hey. But that brings us to the end of the episode, y'all. And thanks for listening. And as always, we love y'all. Keep it good, keep it chilled, and keep gaming. You know what I'm saying? Thank you so much for listening to the show, and we'll check you on the next episode. Bye-bye.